So now it's a time to gather and connect to that inner calling that brought you to this point, into this moment. All that happened in the past, everything has prepared you and brought you to this point, and it is there within you as your deepest calling, your deepest aspiration. And that is what we are awakening.
The main reason for me to join Swadharma was I was very confused in my life regarding which path to take. I had multiple ideas in my head.
And there were a lot of questions that kept coming inside my head. If a conventional career path is meant to me, I never felt like I could go down that conventional route of a 9-to-5 job in an office. And there were these deeper questions that kept coming up. Is this what I'm meant to do in my life? What is the deeper purpose of my life?
Like, I don't know the exact reason behind it, but I believed my intuition, and something inside me said you have to go for it. Maybe you will find something that you really want to know. You'll know yourself better. So I just followed my intuition and what my heart said.
Let's that inner fire in you, the inner flame in you, the calling within you emerge. Our journey is to come in touch with this flame. Not only its illumination, but also its power of transformation.
There is so much to it. I mean, I can take another 5 weeks explaining what all was impactful. Starting with the core structure itself, how the way it is planned, as in the first you explore yourself, then you get inspired, then you get the relevant tools for yourself, and then you get into action. I mean, amazing the way it is done.
The concentration sessions, since they were early in the morning, I had to go to sleep on time and I had to wake up early. And just the session itself just helped me calm down and center myself for the day. It really helped set that tone for the day. A lot of my anxieties and worries sort of mellowed down a lot and just helped set the right pace and tone for the day moving forward.
This course gave me a whole new perspective about why concentration is so important and how it can impact whatever we want to do. So that was a really wow thing for me.
For me, the most impactful has been journaling, and especially the fact that it has been collective journaling sessions. The collective ones have been very impactful for me, because what I found was that I felt like journaling, but then I never had that zeal in me to really open the book and sit and do it by myself. When I found that there were several others along with me, it really motivated me to come and to give that like a commitment which I gave. Okay, 7:30 to 8 o'clock I'm going to be dedicating to journaling only, and with all these bunch of people who are going to be waiting for me to come. So journaling was one session which really helped me, and it helped really purify quite a few emotions of mine. So my paper and pen have become like my best friend these days.
I really enjoyed the session on the soul values and the soul force because it helped me understand why I behave in a certain way, or why I respond to certain situations in a certain way, and why others respond to the same situation in different ways. It also helped me realize the underlying pattern and the values that I hold very dear to me, and why I hold some things more important than others.
For example, if you are someone who value truth, whether you are in a workplace, in your study place, at your home, in your marketplace, doesn't matter where you are, you will value truth.
The values were something that blew me away. So that was something that I felt I hadn't recognized.
Another is the ikigai session. Means it is matching what you need, what your passions are, and what the world needs. When all these things and how can you earn money also? If all these things come together, then what you are following is the true passion, like the true thing or the true ikigai. So that thing has a huge impact.
So the joy of creation is something which is difficult, but once the flywheel starts moving, it really takes on new meaning. So this gives me meaning. There is a lot of obstacles.
My self-talk was actually about my worth and my value and whether all of those things come up when you stretch yourself. I think you really kind of have an encounter with the inner critic like nothing else.
I had this interview with Kathy where she just talked about how you don't need to know everything. I felt like when I had to start a lot of my projects, I would stop and take a step back because I was like, I don't know everything, so I shouldn't be doing this. But she talked about how, it's important to surrender to the process and you don't need to know everything right when you start. You learn things as you progress forward, and that was really important for me.
Once I decided, that my ikigai is to be a food designer, I interviewed this food designer in Italy called Dr. Francesca Zampolo, and so she talked about that when she was in her Bachelor of Arts college days. She was a product designer, and one day she just decided to attend this seminar where this guy was talking about he wasn't talking about cooking food, but he was talking about designing food. And when she said that, it not only inspired her, but I think it also inspired me. And something inside my head was really like this little light bulb that went.
Okay, a few years back, I did a trekking trip. And trekking trip, I had a group, somehow similar to the Swadharma team. And during the trekking trip, I could not do so well. I fainted and I was feeling tired and all. But the group made sure that I climbed the mountain and reached the summit. And at the summit was so beautiful, and I was thanking everyone in the group. So this is what I wanted to share regarding my reflections. And this group is so much similar to that trekking trip group.
Like the bonding or connection, like the sharing circle, it is feeling like a more physical circle. These are same emotions, passion, like people are sitting together. So that bonding really happened. It's not any mental or emotional thing, but it's really something physical. You can sense something in the physical.
I am so inspired by a lot of my peers because just by the virtue that everyone has a different way of looking at things, right? I look at a certain situation with my own perspective, but when I listen to other people's presentations, the weekend presentations, I see them responding and reacting to the same situation in a very different perspective.
Whatever each one shares is received as an offering. Sharings pour in through the deeper heart and are received through the deeper heart.
So what touched me the most was, in fact, our collective practices and our collective journaling sessions. I really enjoyed it thoroughly, and so the power of the collective has, really stayed with me throughout this entire 5 weeks, and and more importantly, the sharing circles, again, the power of collective. So when, you learn and you listen to a lot of different, it's such a heartfelt sharing, no? So it comes from a space of, just listening and, You don't really need to apply your mind to it, since it comes, directly and touches your heart. So that's what these all collective sessions have been really, really most impactful for me.
Over the last 5 weeks for Swadharma, I never felt frustrated purely because of I never felt frustrated that it was an online session. I felt truly at peace and I felt connected even through a screen. I'm sure the experience would have been different in person, but it felt like a really helpful and a really nice experience online as well. Like I never felt like I'm missing out on something just because we're doing it online. I think the LMS was really good for me in the sense that all the tasks were mentioned in a more organized manner with all the timelines and submission deadlines. So that really helped me stay on track. And it was a very user-friendly platform as well. Like I could easily access everything. And I was getting feedback as well, which I felt was very important. And WhatsApp was a more informal way of communicating, just those highlights, the happy moments of the day.
I think they were the best modes. LMS especially, it made it very easy to keep track of the tasks. And even now when we have this, I think we'll still have the access to LMS even after our course. So whenever if I have any doubt or if I am stuck anywhere, I can always go back and look and do the exercises again. So I think that's very beneficial, I feel. And WhatsApp task of the day and WhatsApp group kept the energy going. It never felt in this past 1 month that I'm lacking in energy somewhere, because it kept the energy very high all the time.
What I like the most is Divyanshi's engagement even over WhatsApp. So I used to text her many times throughout the week, and she would reply to every single message, give the personalized feedback, give voice notes. So yeah, this is like the way we can use technology for better of everybody is one such example. Because before that I used to think I waste my time on WhatsApp, but now through the course I realized it was so important. Having WhatsApp for me was so important.
There was a freedom and flexibility to put your point or put any query out there at any point of time. I mean, had it been a physical situation, there would have been limited hours or specified hours when we come as a group and we discuss about points. But here, if I get a thought, if I get a query, doing anything at any point of time, I could just come and write it down on LMS and I would get an answer. The kind of personalized responses or feedback I got for each of my answer, that was also amazing.
Yes, it's a kind of blessing in disguise, because if we have been to Aurobindo, we have been in a separate atmosphere. That atmosphere would have been very good, but once we come back to our places, it would have been diluted. So we have, during this journey, we try to face our own challenges in our own atmosphere, but in a new way. We have offered different tools to overcome that we are really facing the challenges and trying to face them face to face in the real time. So that is an opportunity online.
Previously, I went for a yoga camp and after coming back to my place, it was kind of difficult to adapt that situation over here. There were so many learnings and insights, but following it here in this situation with all the different surroundings and the normal daily activities, it was kind of difficult. But here I was able to understand that definitely I'm learning it from my workspace and the surroundings, which I'm going to be there for a longer period.
Once the course started and how they have structured it, I think it's amazing and it's beautiful. It is quite effective. And the other thing that I noticed is, if we had gone to Aurobindo, we would have been in this little bubble where, it was just us and we weren't really in contact with the real life situations that we would have faced when we were back home. But now that we are here and I'm able to apply all of this in the current context, I think it is far more helpful. My parents and my friends can see the change in me now.
it felt like there is someone there to hold me up. So yeah.
Really, really, really grateful for them, and how they have been available around the clock, and they kept on pushing us and providing us the right guidance, and pointing out our flaws but in a more gentle way.
Surya, Divyanshi, Manoj, and everyone else who was sort of guiding us through the entire journey, they all ensured that the entire course was very well structured. Like, I never felt out of place, like this doesn't make sense to me, this doesn't connect with something. Like, every succeeding module was connected to the previous one in a very intricate and beautiful manner, and I thought it was really well done.
They were invested in our journey, is what I would like to say, and that touched me the most.
I think if I can simplify in one word, it's care that touched me the most. Yeah.